Hey, what is up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. This is going to be a good one. You're going to want to watch this one to the very end. Now, I'm going to start by asking you to support this channel by just hitting the like button. That's it. This is sponsored by you. Let's get 2,000 likes on this video. All right, so I got something I'm going to show you guys in the charts that's just screaming to some of you guys. It's going to shine some light and help you in your decision making, okay? My name is Larry Jones. This is Stock Up with Larry Jones. We do weekly ones like this in Studio C. Let's get right into what's happening and what's whipsawing this market. Actually, it whipsaws intraday, but if you zoom out, you see we just been trending down. I'm going to show you something in a video that I recorded late last night. So I'm going to just put that video right in the middle of this video. Okay. So mixed messaging from the White House, right? So that's what's whipping the market now. So we're trying to see, are we wrapping up the war? And, you know, the White House is saying, hey, we're wrapping it up. All right. I'm trying not to say a certain name. We're wrapping it up. Right. And that's what's coming from the Secretary of Defense and the President. Hey, we're wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up. It's done. It's not even a war. It's an excursion. While we're sending more ships and more troops, like boots on the ground. Remember, we told you guys that is a negative sign to the stock market. So the stock market is confused and it's reacting confused. If you zoom out, you'll see we just been trending down. And just when you think it's okay, this is it, let me load up, it's not the time to load up. Time to dip buy. So, but it's not the time to just give all your money up front, right? Remember, anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. But I clearly told you guys a week ago Friday, not this Friday, a week ago Friday, that the purchases that I made, I can afford to do it 4 to 5 times more. Why? Because things like this could happen, right? The Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, was saying, we're not going to get into war creep. And that's exactly what's happening. We are now into war creep. What does that mean? We go for one mission, and then it wound up being this mission, and then that mission, and then this mission, because you don't know what the war is going to cause, right? And so now, there's basically 3 major things that I see, okay? That we're sending troops over there for. There's an island called Karg Island, right? That's where all of Iran's oil infrastructure is, right? And if we send our troops boots on the ground to take over that island, there's going to be some loss of life, unfortunately. But that may be the new mission now, right? Or it could be controlling the Straits of Hormuz and letting the ships go by. That's a whole nother battle, okay? Or we continue to bomb Iran's nuclear capabilities, and we just totally do what was said that was done a while back. So you got 3 different missions. And from day to day, it seems like it's this one, and then the next day is that one, and then the next day is this one. That's war creep. That's mission creep. And we are absolutely doing exactly what the Secretary of Defense said that we're not going to do. We are 100% doing exactly what he said we're not going to do. And the market does not like that. I was talking to other influencers. We're forced to talk about politics because politics have taken over our money. It's absolutely taking over the stock market and our money. And now, because of rising oil prices, now we have fear of the Fed not just staying interest rates, but raising interest rates because of inflation. And of course, the R word is being thrown around daily, and that's recession. If this lasts long and oil is choked out, we will enter a recession at some point, okay? That is just the facts. If this continues, gas prices continue to rise, and we don't get this war wrapped up sometime soon, right? And that soon, to me, I'm giving it to the end of April. If this war is not wrapped up, we could be heading for sure into a recession. These are just warnings, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen, because these are midterms. And that's one of the things that all Americans have on their side, regardless of who you voted for. That's a positive for us, right? So we need a clear signal of how to wrap up this war, okay? Now, I want you guys to check this out that I videotaped last night, and we'll be back. All right, guys, this is just a quick exercise for those of you that are simply looking to get in long into the stock market, long, okay? So you could see to the left, that was the 20th of February, 2025, we were in fear. Why were we in fear? Because the president had started to announce his tariff war, okay? So the market was in fear, and then we got extreme fear, and then to the right, that's extreme greed, okay? To the right, that's extreme greed on the 10th of July. Now, when you zoom up, you will see this is all in reaction to Liberation Day. So we were in fear already. Why? The president was announcing his Liberation Day. And then when it triggered, it brought the market all the way down. And that was a nice little drop to the bottom, okay? Let's call that 20% on VOO. Why am I bringing up VOO? Some of you guys have actually tapped out, I believe, at the wrong time, okay? So I'm not tapping out here. So what do we do? What do you hear me say all of the time for long-term investing? We buy fear. Extreme fear is actually when I actually buy more. So now what happened? Extreme fear hit at the bottom. But guess what? That's when a lot of people tap out, hence dumb money by Wall Street. Wall Street calls you dumb money because you you sell at the bottom, extreme fear, and then you wind up rebuying. Look, I'm going to wait until this is over, and then I'm going to rebuy. Okay, so you sell down here, and then you buy back up here. That's when it goes into extreme greed. So what happens? You just missed a 27% run from the bottom to the top. So I buy extreme fear. And if I was going to sell, I would be selling here. And so this is showing you what has happened. Now, this was a V-shaped recovery, right? We get that. It was a V-shaped recovery. Let's look at the SPY. Now, VOO that we just left was the S&P 500. 500 of the companies that you own, some of those companies are in that. That's buying the whole index. This is the SPY, right? And so this is kind of the same thing, the S&P 500, just in a different form, the SPY. Now, when was this? This was COVID. Why are you showing us this, Larry? Because some of you were going to say that was a one-off. But look at what happened before COVID. COVID was not announced like Liberation Day. So we were actually in extreme greed just before COVID started. And then what happened? COVID hit, the country shut down, the market was in extreme fear. So the fear and greed index, extreme fear, is down here at the bottom. And what happened? A lot of you guys sold, you sold your 401ks and you took a hit. And then what happened? You got back in because the CNN fear and greed index was extreme greed. So what did you do? This is why they call us dumb money. You turn around and you gave up that much money, and then you sold here because of emotions, and then you bought back in and missed a 43% run. The fact of the matter is you should have been buying more down here. Look at this. On October 13th, the CNN Fear and Greed Index was in extreme fear. October 13th. See that? This was the bear market of 2022. It lasted a long time. And when I told you October 13th, that was this date. So when I went here and I said October 13th, 2022, the fear and greed index was extreme fear, right? That's where we were, in extreme fear. And what was this? This was the bottom of the bear market of 2022. This was absolutely the bottom. Extreme fear, right? So we go from greed to extreme fear. And then if I would have put a fear and greed index right here on the 27th after recovery, or even right here, you would probably see that we were back into greed. So the more fear, the better it is to buy. Now, I put this yellow line here because this is the halfway point between here and here. It's simply the halfway point. Now, if I looked at this date right here, and you could see it is right there, guess what this is if we were halfway in? On April 29th, 2022, the CNN Fear and Greed Index closed at a signal of fear, right? So this is just to show you. So we are, even if we go back to the 29th, we are in fear territory right here. So right here, we're in fear territory. Right here, we're in greed territory. Down here, we're in extreme fear. And up here, we're in extreme greed. So what should you do? Challenge your mentality and flip it and buy extreme fear. And if you're going to sell extreme greed. That is what I'm saying to you. And for those of you that are in VOO, or you have the S&P 500 or the entire stock market through an ETF fund or anything like that, what it looks like we are forming right now as we speak, we are heading back down to extreme fear. Even when it lasted as long as the bear market of 2022, which was the entire year, all you had to do was wait. All you had to do was wait. Look at this. All you had to do was wait. The chart is showing you that all you had to do was wait. And you would have, let's just say you started buying from the middle, you would be up massively right now just by waiting. As a matter of fact, let's see what the fear and greed index is looking like right now. Well, what do you know? We're in extreme fear. So as far as just buying and selling the fear and greed index, Larry Jones, buy extreme fear. I may not buy fear, but I did dip a little bit in fear. I buy more in extreme fear. And then if I'm going to take a haircut by selling some shares, I do it in extreme greed. This is how you make money. So the reason I posted that is because I was talking to 3 different people, and I saw 2 different posts, one on my YouTube page that people sold, and it was funny. It was VOO. They sold VOO, right? They sold the S&P 500. And that's why I was showing you what prior outcomes were and where you should have been buying and not selling. You could be selling at the bottom, could. Now, if things don't change from the time you see this until opening Monday morning, I would not trust the pre-markets tonight, which is Sunday. If something doesn't change, which probably will, either more of an attack or less of attack, Monday will be another red day. Could, okay? Not will, could. Don't come back and say, Larry, you said it was going to be a red day. But if we see more boots hitting the ground and more fire coming on, then the market is not going to like that, and it's going to further tank, okay? And so this is the time that you have to be brave and not fearful. And the difference in someone that's sold at the bottom is, unfortunately, they're going to buy back at the top. And that's why Wall Street calls us dumb money, because that's what it is, emotional trading. Okay. For those of you that are into long positions, this is for you. That was for you. So now I'm going to shift now and go into my inspirational message. And I'm just going to keep it short. Let me say this first. Thank God for YouTube. We love YouTube. We love this platform. We love the fact that YouTube allows us to do this. YouTube has to find commercials that fit what we do, and we appreciate this platform. And it's a blessing that I get to come to you through this platform called YouTube. So I'm very thankful. Larry, it sounds like you kissing up. I surely am. All right, so where I'm coming from you, it's Psalms 46:10, and it says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still and know that I am God. And this is not for your stocks. This is for you to apply throughout and for your natural born life, for the rest of your life, from this point forward. Be still and know that I am God. That is from your creator. If you Google it, you're going to see something that says it's a biblical invitation to cease striving, let go of control, and trust God's power during times of chaos and uncertainty. Like the preacher on Sunday, I closed the book. And I'm telling you guys, throughout life, and I've had some battles. When I finish my documentary, you're going to be shocked of the battles that I had. And I'm going to tell you this, like I did on last Sunday's message, when I was talking about how God opens doors, and when he opens doors, no man can shut them. I'm going to tell you that I don't care who you are, male, female. It doesn't matter what nationality you are. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. It doesn't matter who you voted for. In times of uncertainty, trust your creator and trust God. I want to put a little pin in there and let you know that you don't house God. Your party does not control or own God. God owns you. So one of the things I want you to do is stop looking at the other side like you have God in a box. You know, he's not a genie in a box. He owns you. He created you. So trust your creator, and let's all come together throughout the country and throughout the world and just simply ask God for calmer heads to prevail, and that this war cease and end and no more lives are lost, period. Okay? That's what my prayer is. So in times of uncertainty, lean on God. When you can't do anything, lean on God. Trust God. There was times when there were financial battles I was against. There were times when I was facing death. And unfortunately, there's times when death takes a loved one. You guys know I've been through it. I mean, it was a roller coaster. My dad, my brother, my mother, my grandmother. It was like boom, 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 boom. But yet, I trust God because God is in control. So breathe and trust God. He's got it. At the end, God is in control. And God will only allow so much by man. But understand this, God is in control. Okay? I love you guys, and we will see you tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some traveling, and my studio going to look a little different tomorrow. So we'll see you then again. If you want some more helpful tools, we have some beneath. Just click more on your cell phone and go to Money Moves. And that's where we have a new portfolio. We are rapidly adding more and more stock to that portfolio. And I've partnered with Josh on that. And I'm just taking a lot of newbies into options and a lot of them are making money, all right, in the options market. So as the stock market goes down, we're printing money, right? So come learn a new skill and earn, right? That's Money Moves. It'll be the top link below. Until then, we'll see you later. Live, love, laugh, and learn.